All right, y'all, I'm gonna try this one more time and just see if the powers that shouldn't be will just let me stream this. I mean, we're talking about the post office, but like I was saying before, this may be a random segment that we do on the channel, and I lovingly refer to it as if you see something, say something, which is a trademarked slogan brought to us by the Department of Homeland Security, which they spent good tax dollars to trademark, dollars that were stolen from the taxpayer by the force of the gun. But anyway, so speaking of government entities, what I was talking about before, we were so rudely interrupted. We had a wonderful subscriber that wanted to send us a package, and so they were in the area of the post office where we have our P.O. box, and they sent us an email, and they said, hey, I wanted to send you a package. I was actually in White Oak, and so I dropped the package off at the White Oak post office, and so I got by there today to pick it up, and I was very curious. So I was like, wow, I wonder if they charge them to walk this package across the room and put it in our P.O. box. And sure enough, that was you, and they charged you $6.70, and I was not surprised in the slightest. But this is a government organization that has literally existed almost since the founding of the country. This was one of the, right up there with like defending the homeland. This was like, the United States Postal Service. So, so for you that are watching this that may not understand the scenario, okay, we have a federal employee. We have somebody that comes in, and we have a federal employee and said, hey, I would like to put this in this post office box. That federal employee proceeds to say, that will be $6.70. And here's your tracking number. So in case I'm so brain dead, intoxicated, inebriated, in case I lose my way walking across the room to put it in the P.O. box, here's your tracking number, and that will be $6.70. And the other interesting thing, I was a couple days getting to the P.O. box. It's a second day priority mail. It would have been more ironic if it took more than 2 days to walk the package across the room to put it in the P.O. box. But it's just another example of government's ineptitude to do the most simple and practical task. And it's a shining example of their desire to fleece us and to steal from us and rob us. And it's interesting, I posted this to our Instagram, which posts to our Facebook. I'm not really on Facebook that much, but it posts to our Facebook. And one of our patrons asked the question, well, yeah, but if we abolish the United States Postal Service, what will we use in its place? And that's already been answered. It's called UPS. It's called FedEx. It's called privatization. UPS and FedEx can very easily do the same thing that the Postal Service does, but actually make a profit and not need federal funds to fleece from the American public. So much so that as we speak, FedEx currently contracts with the Postal Service to deliver packages for the Postal Service. And I'm pretty sure, but maybe not, maybe the United States Postal Service pays FedEx a premium to do that, so they're actually losing money on the contract. That's a possibility, because the federal government loves to do stuff like that. But due to the fact that FedEx, which isn't federal, is not a government arms contractor, or are they involved in homeland security or defense, or manufacturing weapons for ISIS, or fill in the blank of the new terrorist organization or whatever. I would imagine that FedEx can't get away with charging a surplus in excess of what the UPS is actually charging to deliver a package. But, you know, I do want to encourage you, if you see something, say something, all right? And all we have to do is recognize what the government is doing to us, and while we still can, we at least have to say something. And it's not being negative, but it's pointing out the obvious, because there are very few people anymore. Common sense is dead, and so is logic and reason, and that's why I've decided to abstain from all federal type voting and whatnot, and the puppet show that involves those shenanigans. But I just thought it was very interesting today, and I thought that I'd bring that to everybody's attention, that besides the fact that if that package was lost or stolen, lost in transport, I think it's probably about 12 or 15 paces across the room. If that package was lost or stolen, you would not get your money back. So, hey, there's Mark Edwards. That's what I was saying, Mark. They've already been replaced with with private entities. Privatization works. Public schools should be abolished. Obviously, the United States Postal Service should be abolished. And if this offends you, this message is not for you. Please click the next button and go to the next useless brain dead YouTube video. But if this video strikes a nerve with you, resonates with you, please share it on all your social media. And that's all I got for today, but we might do more of this. If you see something, say something, and I'll get to go back through and read the comments, so I won't be ignoring y'all. But yeah, I found that very interesting, and I just see it on a daily basis, and it's beyond annoying, because we are all paying for this debacle that is government largesse and just the immense you know, I could go on about this whole New Mexico compound, right? While we're on it, hey, I got a couple minutes. So, see you, Mark. So there's this supposed New Mexico compound that has, what, Haitian Muslims or something, right? And they're killing little 3-year-old kids and all this stuff, which is highly possibly true. And it's like tarps and tires and all this stuff. And so on a hot tip, the local authorities find this place. Lo and behold, the FBI has been watching these guys, and they've had an insider. Once again, we see the ineptitude, incapability, and sheer neglect, terribleness, overall despicable human beings involved. You know, plausible deniability and compartmentalization. The FBI should be abolished. Why we're getting rid of the USPS? Just get rid of the FBI. Every single so-called supposed terrorist threat, and every mass shooting, school shooting, the Boston Marathon bombing, all these people have been investigated and tracked And, you know, meanwhile, Joe Citizen has zero privacy, but the FBI perpetually continues to fail at their job and fail at their job with billion-dollar budgets. So just abolish the FBI and give everybody their money back, and we'll be in the exact same predicament, the exact same boat. The same amount of 3-year-olds will die in the New Mexico desert. No harm, no foul. So supposedly the FBI takes over this New Mexico terrorist deal, and they proceed, I always say that wrong, they proceed to drive a bulldozer through the middle of the compound and destroy evidence because, you know, they want to keep us safe. And the deep state's real. The deep state wants us all dead or in FEMA camps, or, well, they want us to stay alive so they can tax us, but they certainly don't want us safe. They certainly don't want our kids safe. They suck up the payroll. They rob us blind. They do an incredibly poor job at what they do on purpose with no accountability. And they've done it since JFK, and every administration, the beat goes on, and the deep state and Russia and all that great stuff. And I could go in a million different directions, but that's all for now. Just food for thought, something to think about. If you see something, say something. And so that's what's up today. I just saw that, found it interesting. I was a bit angered and aggravated that my local post office would gouge such a kind person that wanted to send us a gift. But such is the beat goes on. That's just the way it is, folks. And it's the price we pay for safety. And I don't need to quote any of the founding fathers on that. But all right, y'all. Well, I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Check us out on Instagram if you'd like to see a copy of the packing label for the USPS. It's on our Instagram, which forwards to our Facebook. But appreciate y'all. Have a great day. If you think this is worth it, share it. All right.